Beijing submerged. Torrential rains like never before. Floodwaters surging through the capital. China's most powerful city is drowning in what can only be described as Earth's wrath. This is no longer a weather anomaly. It is a brutal wake-up call about humanity's growing disconnect from nature. As a seasoned reporter who has covered hundreds of storms and disasters, I've seen cities fall to floods, typhoons, and quakes. But what I witnessed today in Beijing, a mega capital of over 21 million people, truly sent chills down my spine. The city was practically pounded by an endless wall of rain, as if the skies had ruptured. The sun vanished, swallowed by storm clouds that painted the sky with a solid red. Entire districts evacuated under the cover of night, lit only by flickering flashlights and the cries of children clinging to their parents. The city's modern subway system, once a symbol of national pride, became a nightmare. Viral videos showed panicked commuters banging on windows as water surged into the train cabins. In some areas, people climbed onto the roofs of vehicles, waiting desperately for rescue. Emergency responders fought against time, rain, and the crumbling infrastructure. Multiple reservoirs surrounding the city were placed on red alert. Any failure could trigger an uncontrollable catastrophe. No one imagined that Beijing, the global symbol of economic might and technological progress, could become the epicenter of a natural assault. But perhaps even more alarming is the fact that this isn't the first time. Extreme weather is no longer rare. It's becoming frequent, violent, and personal, a direct retaliation from nature to our relentless abuse. When rivers are buried under concrete, when drainage is an afterthought, and when wetlands are destroyed in the name of urban expansion, that's not development. That's self-destruction. If even Beijing, with its immense resources, can't withstand a single night of rain, how will the rest of the world fare? Nature has spoken, not with words, but with water, destruction, and silence. This is not just a weather report. This is a warning. Some may still think this is just a rare, intense storm, just another blip in the weather cycle. But no, we're standing in the very heart of what scientists have warned us for decades. Climate change is here. It's not some distant theory debated in climate summits. It's real, it's now, and it's flooding the streets of Beijing, one of the most advanced cities in Asia. We used to believe that technology, infrastructure, and money could shield us from the wrath of nature. But today, giant pumps, miles of underground drainage, and elevated highways have all failed. Entire avenues became rivers. Underground parking lots turned into death traps. Cars drifted like toys in the current. And worst of all, lives have been lost. Unconfirmed reports point to casualties. And even one life gone is one too many. In the midst of chaos, the people of Beijing don't need grand speeches or political reassurances. They need the waters to recede. They need help. They need to hear that this won't happen again. But can anyone promise that? When every year brings a once-in-a-century storm. Perhaps centuries now last only a few months. The pride of a city that builds the tallest towers, hosts global Olympics, and flaunts skyrocketing GDP, is now drowning because of the simplest, most basic force, water. Nature doesn't need weapons of mass destruction. It only needs rain. And with just rain, the entire machinery of a modern superpower can be brought to its knees. Behind the headlines, behind the heroic rescue teams working beyond exhaustion, lies the deeper question. How many more floods will it take before we choose to change? How many more warnings before we stop cutting forests? burying rivers, and ignoring scientists? We are living in an age where Earth no longer has patience. And when Mother Nature unleashes her fury, no country is immune, no capital is exempt. Today it's Beijing, tomorrow it might be Shanghai, or any other place on the map. At this point, maybe the question isn't who's to blame, but who has the courage to change. Who will dare admit that we can no longer hide under our umbrellas of technology when the very sky above us is collapsing?
Bottle